All right, everybody, welcome back to The Journey, episode number 5. Can you guys hear me okay? My name is Vic Strazius. Very excited to be back with you guys again. Another episode every single week, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are getting together for The Journey. And the purpose of this show, the purpose of this broadcast, the purpose of this get-together is to bring you people who started out just like all of us, right? From scratch, from zero, with no list, with no money, a lot of them, right? With no marketing experience, with no knowledge about this industry. But one thing they had in common, which is vision, right? They wanted to be someplace that's different. They wanted to have some things that are different. And throughout, their journey, how did they do? How did they go about this? So that's the purpose of, us getting together for these shows. And I'm very excited to, first of all, to be able to, to be in a position to even host a show like this because, I get to learn a lot from these folks that are coming out. Great to see you guys. I see a lot of you guys are pumped about this. Okay, good to see you all. And so I get a lot of nuggets for myself personally as well, right? And also with the hope that when you hear their stories, how does somebody go from being broke, just starting out, working at a printing shop, right? Trading hours for dollars and against all odds, man, against like going through turbulence and ups and downs of life in business and things working out, campaign failing, traffic generation campaign, winning, losing money, earning money, losing money, going, to the bottom of the bottom and then having to rebound back again. How does one do it, right? And so ideas, strategies, all of this will be covered here on tonight's show. And I'm very excited to be hosting one of my best friends in the industry, somebody I've known for years now, somebody who has a tremendous story, very inspirational guy, super inspirational guy, very humbled. And because of that, he's also very respected in the industry because of his humbleness. There's somebody who has literally started out working for somebody else, and he's going to tell you his story here in a minute. But working for somebody else, trading hours for dollars, and then starting out his online journey, not knowing anything about marketing. And he is about to hit $2 million in personal income in this space, my friend, that you are a part of, that I am a part of. How did he do it? Everybody, let's welcome our guest for the show here today, Mr. Paulo Barroso. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Vic. Hey, guys. Can everybody hear me?
Brother, you're on. You're loud and clear. Everybody can see you. Everybody can hear you. You look great, man. I love your smile. I love that background you have there with the ocean, representing, the sky is the limit, representing infinite possibilities there, man. Welcome to the show, Paulo. Great to have you here.
Yeah, great to be here, Vic. Thanks for picking me, dude. I'm sorry if I look a little bit tired. I'm actually in Lithuania right now, which is next to Russia. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning right now. I had a nap earlier just to make sure that I would be awake for this call. So if I look a little bit dizzy or whatever, my apologies, but I'm here, I'm pumped, I'm ready. So
hey bro, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you're here, you're a 4%er, man. That's what 4%ers do, right? No excuses. So appreciate your time, Paul, appreciate you. I want to get, like the time we have together here, I have one thing in mind. I have one specific outcome I want for the show for everybody to get, for us to reach this one single outcome, which is, look, you have been through a lot, right? As an online entrepreneur. And so one thing that I want to hopefully get across to everybody here on the show, and also for myself, is to get that, if there was a secret, we all know there was no such thing as like the secret, but what worked for you? How, what's your journey, man? I know a little bit about your story. If you can take us back, and we can just dive straight into the content here, because I know you had a lot of lessons that you can share with people. You had a lot of triumphs, you had a lot of failures. Like we all do, right? And we all have personal lives. We all have personal issues. How do you, in spite of all that stuff, how did you get to the position to where today you're about to get hit? What, about 2 million or close to that?
Yeah. So, I mean, my story is very similar to yours. I'm an immigrant, so I'm from Portugal. I've immigrated actually to England on my 18th birthday. So I moved to England, to the UK. And my story was I was broke. I arrived in England actually with no English. English, as you guys can gather, is my second language. So I arrived in England with pretty much nothing really. I had no plan. I went there to meet some friends and basically just work and study there. So what I did, I got into a profession in England. So let's just back up a little bit. I actually worked in McDonald's, believe it or not, when I first started in England because my English was non-existent. And I just did laborious jobs. Like I worked in bars, McDonald's, and so forth, just to keep me going. And I got into a profession in England. I went into the printing profession, which was my profession for the past like 17 years. I did it for the longest time ever because obviously I needed to work. You know, living in England was quite expensive, and
Right.
I just fell into a profession that I didn't really like. If I'm honest with you, it wasn't my passion. It wasn't really my call in life. I did it because obviously by then I had a family with 2 kids, and I was the head of the house. So being Mediterranean and being the man of the house, obviously I had to work long hours. I had to bring the bread home. But I got in totally to a profession that I didn't like. I wasn't passionate about it. It was just for the salary, and I lived from month to month. So I had no passion in my profession. I had no passion really in what I did, and I was broke for the longest time ever, Vic. I remember the days that I used to get paid on the 1st and by the 15th, and a lot of people on this call maybe already heard my story.
Yeah.
Totally true. Totally true, by the way.
Well, look, so Paul, we have people that are obviously we're doing this show live, so we have a lot of people who might have heard your story. But look, this interview is going to be obviously we're recording it, right? And this is going to be distributed out there to the in the internet marketing community space. So there's going to be a lot of people watching this who don't even know your story. Okay, so your snapshot right now is you're somebody right now who literally is on top of leaderboards with multiple companies. Right, so for you to be at the top of the leaderboards with not just one or two companies, virtually like when I watch you right now, what you're doing is you're in the top 10, with pretty much any company you join. To be able to do that, obviously there's monetary, there's income that follows, there's the lifestyle, there's all the cool stuff that everybody wants. But what you're talking about is your beginnings. How long ago is this? How long have you been online?
That's a really good question. To be honest with you, I've been online for like 10 years, but successfully only for the past 4. And I will explain, obviously, further what happened, why have I been online for 10 years.
Please, please go on. So take us back. I just wanted to give everybody a snapshot of real quick who Paulo Barroso is today, right? So 4 years ago, or 10 years ago, you wanted to be an entrepreneur for about 10 years. 4 of which you were successful. So it's very, very interesting for myself personally. Go ahead, resume where you left off.
Well, the reason really that turned everything around and I had my breakthrough is really by meeting you. And what happened was I wasn't successfully online, and I was trying to make it, and I was trying to work out, how comes there are people making money online and I couldn't. And the reason for that was always to do with mindset and the way that I was thinking. Let's put it this way: it wasn't the marketing courses that I was buying. It wasn't more knowledge, or buying into the right program. It was nothing to do with that. Really, it was something to do with me. The problem was always within me. Although I blame the world and blame my education and blame my parents for not teaching me this and that, and I blame the economy. It was always nothing to do with the outside world. It was always to do with me. And I didn't really understand this, and I didn't really have my breakthrough and get out of the situation that I was in because I didn't have the acknowledgement. I didn't have the right people the right mentors to teach me that. And it wasn't really until I met you, Vic, and this was precisely now 4 years ago, then when I came across you and I made that call. I don't know if you remember, I've actually managed to trace you online, get your phone number.
I do remember that. I do remember that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I called you because I was desperate because I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. I wanted to make it online so bad. I wanted to be an entrepreneur so bad and work for myself like I wanted oxygen, man. So I never gave up. For all those years that I was online, like for 7-8 years that I was trying to make it, I didn't make it, and I kept failing. But I wanted it so bad that one day, obviously, I came across you, and you were the only person that I came across, the only mentor really that told me something completely different from everybody else, which was not buy another course, buy my stuff, but instead said you need to change within yourself and you need to change your mindset. You're negative, Paulo. just pay attention to your speech pattern, the way you talk and the way you behave and the way you hold yourself. You're very, very negative. So you gotta change your mindset. And I was like rabbit with the headlights on, you know. I was caught in a, you know, like, well, what, nobody's ever told me this before, you know. So that was a life-changing moment for me when you told me that I had to change my mindset, and you put me on the 30-30-30 program, which was obviously about reading books for 30 days and watching certain audios for 30 days and no TV, no negativity, no moaning. And that absolutely, completely changed my life, man. Once I did that and I went beyond that and I carry on reading and improving myself. So self-development and the changing of my mindset was definitely the number one thing, my biggest breakthrough that I've ever had online, that I've never had with anyone else. And I had that with you, and I have only you to thank you for. And I told you this a million times, man. I'm very thankful for obviously coming across you and for you to changing my life. And I really mean this. I don't just say it for the sake of saying. I mean what I'm saying. So the number one thing that I can sincerely say that absolutely changed everything. Forget the marketing for now. Forget the traffic sources and all the secrets and all that people want to know. Number one thing I can really say is because I worked on myself first, period. You know, apart from everything else that I've learned from you, it was definitely a mindset change and me investing time in learning about how to improve myself, most importantly, how to change the way that I speak, the way that I see the world, you know, because I was so negative. And I was, like we used to say, and I think this is your saying, I used to be a crap magnet, which is totally true. I was attracting all the negativity because
I got that from T. Harv Eker. He says, when you complain, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. Which actually, you know, there's got validity to it. I mean, it's you know, you can see it happening all the time with people. Yeah. But Paula, look, you know, you give me the credit. I appreciate that, but it was you who changed. I mean, it's you who changed your life. I'm grateful that I played a small role in planting that little seed in your mind. You were somebody. Here's what I want to know, Paul. Okay, so the message of like, okay, change your mindset, change everything, change your life. There's books, there's personal development, there's so much training going on. Why is that you were able to break through while hundreds of thousands of people who have the same information that you might be, that you came across, and they're not doing it? Why do you? What's the disconnect? What precisely? Could you pinpoint to specific thing that helped you have your first breakthrough 4 years ago?
I would say, obviously, first of all, not giving up. That's number one. And I had that question. Someone actually asked me that question. Paul, I've seen you online for 7 years, and you fail at everything you touch. By the way, I was very good at that. I was very good at failing. Everything I would start, I would basically make no money and fail miserably. And this guy was following me. He saw me failing, and I was constantly just telling him how I sucked at everything I touched online. And he asked me that very same question, Paulo, why don't you give up? And I didn't have an answer to him straight away. I thought, why is this guy asking me this? But the truth of the matter was, it's because I was hungry, man. I was so hungry for success. And I knew that I didn't come to this life just to live a life of just being mediocre and not be able to offer my kids the best that I can offer them. So connecting with my why I was doing that. And by the way, I learned that from the book that you obviously, one of the books that you told me to read, which was Simon Sinek's book, Know Your Why.
Yeah.
And when I connected with my why, my bigger why, my inner core, knowing what I'm at and what I want to be. And once I was connected with that, what my why was, and you know, at that time was my family. Obviously, I wanted the best for my family. I just knew I had my back against the wall, and there was no failing for me. There was no, I'm going to give up and I'm just going to conform with the 9-to-5 work and, you know, just be broke, pay my taxes, and then retire and die. I just couldn't conform to that. There was no way that I was going to conform to that. So I think what made me have my breakthrough finally was purely perseverance. I just didn't give up. Just focus. I knew there was people doing it online, like the 2%ers. Not a lot of people doing it
Right.
successfully.
Right.
I wanted to be part of it. I wasn't. I was no leader. I don't know what you guys would have called me, but I was a nobody, man. And I just wanted to be up there. So I looked up at my role models. Who were my role models? People like you. So I just followed to the T. Every single day, man, was my life. From the moment that I woke up in the morning till the moment that I went to sleep at night, all I did was I was your role model. I wanted to be your role model. So I just did everything you did. So I mirrored you.
So let's talk about. So it seems like your why was way bigger than any obstacle that could stand in your way. That's pretty much it. And you just reinforced that so many times that the obstacles became just like, okay, I'm just going to plow through it. I'm just going to stay in the game until I just succeed. Similar to my story, man. My mindset was, look, I'm going to do this or I'm going to die trying. I mean, that kind of like perseverance and persistence in the game.
I like that, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna die trying, and it was really like that. And I know this sounds like cliche, right?
It does. It does.
But it really is, man. It really is. I appreciate you for actually explaining it in better words than I. Thanks.
So, Paulo, let's turn the corner a little bit. Let's talk about marketing. Okay, so 4 years ago. So, what were you doing? You know, the first 6 years that didn't get you results. Were you like, what kind of marketing practices were you engaging in? What were you promoting? What were you doing that led you to failure?
Dude, I was promoting everything and deserves, man. You name a program, and probably I was promoting that.
So were you like an affiliate for the first 6 years? Were you promoting other people's stuff? Okay.
Yeah, I was mainly affiliate, totally affiliate.
Got it.
It's funny because the traffic strategies that I was using back then, it wasn't a lot different from the traffic strategies that I use right now very successfully. It's just I didn't have really, I wasn't consistent, I wasn't focused. Maybe I wasn't really using the right traffic strategies that I know right now that works. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about split testing, I didn't know about tracking. So I was doing really things blindfolded. I was just buying traffic here and there. Maybe 1 week I would try something and then for 2 weeks I would do nothing. So I wasn't consistent, so I wasn't really focused on how to generate traffic. And plus, I was jumping from one opportunity to another every single week. So obviously, I had no system really in place. I didn't have any steps to follow. Mm-hmm. I would wake up in the morning thinking, what am I doing today? I don't really know. I was like all over the place, man. I wasn't focused. I didn't have a system. I didn't have steps. And most importantly, I didn't know what I was doing from day to day. And therefore, the reason why I never had any success, because I had the shiny object syndrome problem, because I was jumping always from one thing to another. And obviously, today, I no longer do that. Obviously, I'm very focused. I write the day before what I'm doing the next day, so I know exactly when I wake up in the morning exactly what I'm doing. So there is no day in Paulo's life where I wake up and I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm doing today. You know, I know I've got a plan.
Yeah.
I know I need to generate traffic.
Right.
And guys, this is the trigger word really, is generating traffic every single day and having leads coming into your business. That is the number one thing really that you should be doing in your business. You know, it's to generate traffic, quality traffic, and generating leads into your business. So I remember this very clearly, Vic, you telling me, this was going back again 4 years ago when I first started, you telling me to be consistent with my leads generation. And I remember you gave me the task of getting about, I think it was something like 40 to 50 leads every single day, which, by the way, that was a lot for me, because I was like, oh my God, where am I going to get 40 to 50 leads every single day? But, right. You know, necessity creates, you know, big things when you really want to do it and when you really want to create that. And I've Googled a lot of stuff, and I bought your courses as well, and I've learned a lot about traffic. But consistently, from then on, I was doing 40 to 50 leads every single day. And I was so consistent, Vic. And I was doing this 7 days a week, by the way, no breaks. And I was so consistent that by 12 o'clock at night, I would turn on my laptop, check my autoresponder, and see if I had those 50 leads there. And if I didn't, no matter how late it was at night, if it was 12, 1 o'clock, I would stay up and go to work and get those 50 leads in. And then once I did, I would close my laptop, I'm done for the day, and then tomorrow just rinse and repeat. So consistency was key for me in getting those, obviously that goal of 50 leads a day. And I've got you again to thank you for that, because you told me how to be consistent with my leads, and that was key for me. And I know this is very oversimplistic, but it made a huge change in my business, and I still apply that today. Obviously, not for 50 leads, for a lot more than 50 leads, but still, I would advise everyone here today that are listening to this call live or recorded, really to be consistent with your traffic and aim for whatever number you're comfortable with. You're
Right.
part of the 4% group, then aim for at least, I don't know, between 30 to 50 leads every single day, and make a note of that, because that was something that completely changed the way I do business right now.
So I want to dig into that concept a little bit more here in a second, Paul. So tell me, back the first 6 years, were you generating lists? Were you building a list? Were you communicating with your subscribers?
No, man, I was building. Oh my God, I remember that I used to start a list on whatever Aweber GetResponse, and I would just give up, man. I was all over the place. I was not.
So like contacting your list, having an email follow-up strategy to your list for what you're promoting. That you didn't do any of that stuff.
No, I didn't have an email follow. I sucked at communicating with my list. I didn't understand creating a rapport with my list. And just communicating with the list in general, man. I just sucked at it. I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't do it. And plus, I would give up building my list. I would do it for a month or two, build it to about, up to 1,000 or 2,000, and then just give up again and shut my Aweber account and move on. So never consistent. Yeah.
Got it. So 4 years ago, not that long, man. Think about it, you guys. 4 years. Look. You might be watching this, right? And you're like, man, I'm just getting started. I'm super excited. This dude just on the verge of hitting here's $2 million in commissions generated online. And it took him 4 years, which what's your real breakthrough? Was that about 4 years ago, or did it take you like another year to really warm up and get your speed, get yourself up to speed, or what? Or did you just like hit it right away? As soon as
No, it wasn't right away, man. I wish it was. It was a slow process, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, dude. Seriously, man. There's nothing really special about me. I was just consistent. I just made it. I remember this now. My biggest breakthrough, apart from the mindset thing that you taught me, was when I came to Miami. I came to see you for the first time, man.
Yeah.
So I did an event. I remember I made an investment with the company that we both were part of, and then you said to me, come over to Miami to meet me, because I'm having an all-in event. There's about 100 people coming. I want you here. And that was a major breakthrough for me, because I had my back against the wall, because I didn't have the money to travel to America, which was a country, by the way, that I've never been to 4 years ago. And me going there and getting myself out of the comfort zone, having to find that money, by the way. And I don't even want to dwell in how I found that money, because I had to borrow that money to come to see you in Miami all those years ago. And that was massive for me, where I put myself in a position of that, this has to work.
Yeah.
Because I had so much money on the line, and money that I borrowed, and I really got myself out of my comfort zone, and I flew to you, which was a 10-hour flight, which, by the way, I was afraid of flying. That was another story. So there was so many things that were trying to stop me coming over to you, but I've managed to do that. And I can sincerely say, once I met you in Miami, and I met other like-minded entrepreneurs in your event, that's when the light bulb up here really went off. And I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I realized, and I was still working in printing, by the way. That's when I realized, you know what, dude, this is what I want to do for a living, man. I love this. I was looking around, I was looking at you, I was looking at other entrepreneurs at that event in Miami, and I thought, I found home. This is my home now. This is what I want to do. Exactly how I'm going to do it, I don't know, but I want to learn. I'm going to be a student of this trade. I want to craft. I want to be the best marketer that I can be. And then I decided, that was my decision then. That's what I'm going to be, in period. Now I'm going to go and learn. I don't know yet how I'm going to do it, but I want to be full-time. I don't want to do printing anymore. Printing is not my passion. I want to be passionate about what I do. Printing, that's not what I came here for. There's a call for me on this earth. I don't know what it is and the reason yet, but I feel passion when I do marketing and when I talk to people and when I help people to improve their lives. I like that. So it was a decision that I've made, really. And then was just going to work. Now let me, get my hands dirty, so to say, and work hard and learn this craft the best way that I can. And every day, that's what I do. I learn and learn and learn. As you know, you see me traveling. A lot of the traveling that I do, Vic, is I'm attending conferences, events, I'm doing or learning in masterminds. I'm always improving and investing my self-education. Yes, I made all that money online, and I'm very blessed for that, by the way. Very thankful, but I invest a lot of that money just back into my education because I want to learn more, man, and I want to be the best that I can be, really. So I hope I answered you.
Dude, we can go into so many directions from what you just said over the last minute and a half here. We meet up in Miami. You fly out, just totally taking a leap of faith. Not knowing what's going to happen, but having that big star you want to reach for. You see this whole thing becoming real, what we do here, online entrepreneurship, right? Online marketing. You have no list at this time. No. You don't have a program that you created or anything. You're just like, okay, I'm just going to promote somebody else's deal, right? And you went back. So you've got this big hook. You hooked on this idea. You got back home. Walk me through your first sale. How did that happen?
Dude, that's when everything starts happening for me because I was so pumped. I remember leaving you shaking my hand. Yeah. You probably don't remember this because this was so long time ago. I was at your mansion in Miami, and I remember this when I said goodbye to you. You shook my hand, you looked me in the eye, and you said, Paulo, I believe you gotta make it in this business. But you said it in a very specific way, like you really meant it. And you looked me in the eye and you said, Paulo, you gotta make it in this business, man. I believe in you. You are already $100,000 a month person. And you shook my hand and you looked me in the eye and you said that. And you know what was within seconds, I just totally believed you. And when I went back to England, I just went to work, man. I learned the marketing strategies that you taught me that weekend. I took all that on board. I took the mindset stuff on board. I just came back pumped and I went to work. And I remember my very first sale was with a company that we were both promoting, and it was like a $1,500 day. I had my first $1,500 day, man, and I was like, whoa, okay, I've never made this much money in a day, This was like, I don't know, half of what I was with my present occupation as a printer. So I made that in a day. So I made a video, I blasted all over the internet and say, guys, look, I've had my first $1,500 day. And then from there, everything just started happening because I had the mindset going. I had the winner's mentality, so to speak. I was starting to talk to people. I started to make videos, and I was just attracting the right people into my business. And I was making crazy. My first month in that company, I remember this very, very clearly. I had my first $10,000 month, which I never had.
First month ever.
My first $10,000 month, yeah.
Right. So I can just hear people watching this, and literally like screaming, man, you're making it sound so easy. How did you have to talk to people? Did you have to sell them? What did you have to do presentations? How did that happen? $1,500 in a day, first $10,000 in a month, and of course, you guys, we're talking about income here. This is not a guarantee of income. This is his journey. That's what happened to Paulo Barroso, So belief system was there. Where the rubber meets the road, and I know this because I remember that conversation. I remember that. I do remember what how your beginnings were, and you promoted the system, I believe, that we created for one of the companies, which is similar to the systems we have here inside of the 4% group. Walk me through that process. Did you have to sell it? Did you have to talk to how did that, from a marketing perspective, how did that happen?
No, I didn't have to sell anything. That's the whole point of it. I remember this team very, very well because I did very well out of that team, which was Big Idea Mastermind. And no, the presentation was actually done for me. So I didn't have to explain, I didn't have to sell a thing, really. All I had to do really is to generate traffic, quality, targeted traffic to the presentation we had all day long, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So that all I did was learn my craft, which was marketing, which was how to generate traffic, and then send that traffic to that presentation, which was a system that obviously we all had. access to the people who were part of this team. And that's all I did, Vic. I didn't have to sell anything. Did I make some calls? Yeah, I took some calls, but did I have to sell online? Did I have to sell on the phone? Absolutely, absolutely not, because there was a system in place that did all the selling for me. So I know it sounds like very simplistic, and I'm trying, it sounds like I'm making it easy. Obviously, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Because if it was easy, then everybody would have done it.
This is what I'm trying to get to is like, okay, what's that little something that a lot of people are not talking about, right? Which you clearly addressed. It was clearly in your head. I mean, the success. You guys, look, you're watching this. Your success or failure is right between your ears. That's it. Now we do things like, you know, here in the 4%, obviously, you know, you're watching this. If you're not a member of the 4% group, check it out, man. Get in. This is how Paul. We had very, very similar. Like structure of the marketing back then, Paulo, right? But of course, what we have now is like 100 times better and more expanded. This is like, it's not even comparable to what we had back then, and you still broke through, man.
This is about 10xing your business. I really believe that. I remember with Big ID Mastermind, we only had one income stream.
Yeah.
And I remember in the beginning, you just made me think about something. I remember in the beginning when Big ID Mastermind, the things weren't even finished yet. And people were complaining, oh, this ain't finished, that ain't finished. And what I did, and I learned this from you, Vic, is to step out of all the negativity. And when there's people complaining, I would just switch that off. And guess what I did? I went to work, and I worked with what I had. And with what I had was so good that made me, obviously, the money that it made me. Right. So while the complainers were on this side complaining, Paulo went to this side and he went to work. And it's very, very funny that I'm explaining this to you guys, because I had a guy at one of the events who was part of Big ID Mastermind who started at the same time as me. And he came to me and he asked me, Paulo, how comes you've made close to $1 million now with this team? And man, I've made zero. What's happened here? And I started asking him, so you started at the same time as me. You had access to the same tools. But yet, I've went to make nearly $1 million and you made zero. So let's talk about it. And I started asking him, what did you do? And he said, well, in the beginning, I did nothing because things weren't ready, Paulo. You know, the stars weren't aligning. The sun and Saturn were not in a 100% position, whatever. And I said, so that's the difference, man. While you were waiting for everything to align, I went to work with what I had. And a lot of my other team members that did very, very well with our team, they did the same. We just went with what we had, you know, and we made it work. So what I'm excited about with the 4% is because there's more than just one income stream, right? This is just another level. And I'm excited and I'm smiling because I know with the potential we have with the 4% group and what you've created, really, we can 10x or even more the incomes that we've generated 4 years ago with Big ID Mastermind, which is a very similar system to this, but obviously very basic. So what you've got right now, you're absolutely right. People can they can take this to the moon. I can look you through this camera and tell you straight up that I'm not making this up. You can take this system and go right to the moon with it, because I've been in another system which was more basic than this, and I took it to the moon. Not just me, but others as well. Yeah. But really, I'm excited for what's to come and for people, man.
So Paulo, here's the next thing I wanted to turn this conversation into, right? So while you used a system that was done for you, that was built for you, right, help you generate the sales, which worked phenomenally well for you, because you were new, you did not understand how to sell, how to position, how to explain, how to get people to buy your stuff. Yet you still managed to, you know, have tremendous, I mean, a 5-figure month, your first 30 days of just getting plugged into the system. Now, there is something that we need to talk about here, right? So you use the system. I teach people all the time. I said, look, you can use the system, but the system is like the training wheels on a bicycle. Now, if I take away the system from you now, see, that's the thing. That's what we're trying to do to the marketplace. You guys are watching this. It's very important for you to get this one point, okay? Never rely. You can use systems, right? But if you want to be a long-term entrepreneur, you want to understand why the system worked and how can you replicate that success even if the system is no longer there. So, Paulo, what the big thing about what you did there that's different from a lot of people is you were the guy who tried to understand why the system worked so well while you were using it, right, to make the kind of money, and you capitalized on those small successes, and you started to develop yourself, Paulo Barroso, into this brand, right? Into somebody who's going to be a recognizable figure in the industry. Talk about that process. How did you do that? What are some key things that you focused on? You know, is that communicating with your list in a certain way? Is that like, because you're the kind of guy who, I mean, I've seen you speak on stages, you know, and to go from where you were just 4 years ago to now speaking on stages, getting invited to all these different functions and events and teaching other seven-figure earners. How did you do that? How did you build Paulo Barroso as a brand?
That's a really good question. I just fell into it, if I'm honest with you. I wanted to be the guy under the radar that nobody knew, and I would make some money and look after my family and have a different lifestyle. That was it. But then, as I became an entrepreneur, and then I learned this from you, by the way, Vic, was I had to create my own brand, and I had to obviously put my name out there. And it took me a while to get to that stage. I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't overnight. Remember, 4 years ago, I was the guy who was even ashamed to sign my email with my own name. Why? Because I was a foreigner. Paulo Barroso. Who would listen to a name like that? So I was very self-conscious about myself being a foreigner. I was conscious about my accent. I was conscious about my own name. And I was even ashamed to sign my own name. So I had to, again, mindset change and believe in myself and believe that, yeah, I can do this. Yes, I can be an authority. All I have to do is really believe in myself and self-educate, self-development. And that's what I did. You know, obviously, I was reading a substantial amount of books and really improving myself. And then I just follow what you taught me about branding and building my list, which, by the way, I still am today. I'm still a list builder, and I still communicate with my list. And what's just, learning the skill of communicating with your list. Being consistent, building your list every single day, and then creating that rapport with your list, having a Facebook account, having a fan page, and really create your brand around that. And really, that's all I did. I just learned from the best men on how to become an authority. How did I do that? By reading books and attending events. It really is that simple. A lot of money that I've earned, I've reinvested that back into going to events and learning, masterminds like the ones you had, obviously in Vegas, and I've attended that. So I'm always and I'm still am today, by the way, learning how to become a better marketer, how to become an authority. Learn first, and then so you can teach others. So that's really the formula I use, man. And then the following.
Disseminating content, disseminating what you're learning.
Yeah.
Right. Now, were you how? So walk me through this, Paulo. How do you go about? What would you say the three things that, because you're talking about like believe in yourself, okay? So if I have a newbie hat on and I'm like, dude, I'm so desperate, I got bills piling up, I've got like, maybe creditors calling me, I've got family pressures, and my internet marketing business is running into brick walls right now, right? It's easier said than done. What are the three things that you say that really like, let's go practical here, right? You mentioned some books. Do you recall, or do you have a recommendation for somebody, about the book that that personally helped you, that comes to your mind when you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Think and Grow Rich, straight away. That book by Napoleon Hill absolutely changed everything, my paradigm. It was a paradigm shift for me. It's because I didn't understand how the mind worked. So the problem with us, with human beings, is sometimes we don't use this. This wonderful power that we have between our ears, and I certainly didn't use it properly. So first of all, I had to master that. I had to master my own thinking, and overpass my own fears, my own doubts, because all we have really is doubts and fears, right? We don't believe in ourselves. We have doubts. I had to overcome all that, and I had to learn how to do that. And a wonderful book that I've learned from was Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Anyone that knows what I'm talking about, that book can change your life. It can really change the way you master that thing here between your two ears. And that's one of the things that I did. Obviously, there was a lot more. It's like a learning process. I never stopped learning, Vic, on books on how to become better at thinking, better at mindset, better at marketing. It's just a matter of just diving into it and every day read and learn how to become better person and a better marketer. So what I did was I did a lot of learning through books and obviously attending events as well and learning from my role models.
I mean, at this time, right, as you're going about, like creating your breakthroughs, some of your first breakthroughs, I assume there's some negativity maybe from family side, from friends, and your printing shop buddies or whatever. I don't know. Did that happen? How did you overcome that? How did you deal with that?
Dude, if you're talking about the people who were being negative around me, how did I overcome all the negativity? And I had a lot of that. Yeah, that was tough, man. With friends, you can choose your friends, right? So I've looked at my circle of friends, and they were all broke, by the way, like me. And the funny thing is, I was taking advice from people who were broker than me, and I learned that from you, that never take any advice from people who are actually broker than you. So that was number one. I started to stop listening to people who were far worse than me. So I had a lot of that around me. Yes, I had a lot of negativity. So I had to pick my friends. So I looked around and I wanted some role models in my life. I wanted to meet people who were doing far better than me.
Right.
So that's exactly what I did. And in this environment that we are in, that we are marketers, at the events, you will always meet people that do better than you. So that's what I did. I traveled a lot, and I came obviously to America a lot. As you know, I came to see you. I came to a lot of other people's events. Why? Because I wanted to surround myself with people who were doing better than me, who thought in a completely different level. So I kind of distanced myself from certain people, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just wanted to be a better life, and I could not do that with the circle of friends that I had, because they were just very, very negative. Some of them were actually doing worse than me, and yet they were giving me, advice. Sometimes financial advice. Can you guys believe that? I was taking financial advice from people who were broker than me. So now I'm very careful with the time that I spend, who I spend it with. So I've got family members, for example. I won't say who, but there are family members who are very negative in my life. Now, I cannot say I'm not going to talk to you anymore because they're my family, right? So family is a bit more tricky, but I'm very conscious how much time I spend with them because I can choose that. So yeah, I'm very, very aware of, obviously, of people that, how I spend my time with. I rather spend my time with like-minded people, people who inspire me, people that obviously are on the same level or even higher, and they can elevate me, and we talk the same language. This is what I'm trying to say. So cutting out all the crap out of your life and all the negativity is definitely something that everyone should do. If you were to go to the next level and you want to elevate yourself and you want to achieve your goals. So the way I see it now is, when I talk to people and if someone is being negative, I just think, is this person take me further to achieve my goals or further away from my goal? And if that person is not taking me closer to where I want to be and my goals, I just make my excuse and go.
Yeah.
I say it in a polite way. I'm not rude to anybody, but that's how I choose my time. My time is very, very precious now. And I always I interact with people on that level. If you're being too negative towards me or towards anything, and I see, you're a time vampire and you're draining my energy, I'll just make my excuse and go. Because I can choose that. I have a will, or whatever you want to call it, to choose who I will spend my time with.
You got options. You got options. So this is one thing that everybody needs to understand. You guys watching this, here's something that you must remember for the rest of your life. If you, let me tell you the financial side of things, because I know a lot of people want to change their financial side of things. Okay, you cannot, like, if you really want to just break through, okay, just a little side note along the lines of what Paul is talking about. I learned it from some of my mentors, and I was fortunate when I was still a kid, 19, 20 years old. I was learning from somebody who was, earning $2 million a month, in a different industry that we're in right now. But what I learned, those lessons and those ideas, man, it absolutely changed everything for me. Changed my perspective, changed my thinking, changed my belief system. Basically, here's the thing, okay? If you're somebody, okay, a lot of people are like, okay, I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to make $20,000 a month. And people are, looking for mentors that are hitting those marks, okay? And that's okay, but here's the fact of the matter. If somebody is earning $10,000 a month it's really difficult for them to teach you how you can earn 10,000 a month. There is a dribble down effect happening, okay, and it's just how it is. If you want to earn 10,000 a month, you would be much better off if you could find somebody who is at 100. Use a 10x factor, 100,000 a month. If somebody is at 100,000 a month, they will give you ideas and principles, right, that works for them, how they were able to build that. Now, here's the reality, okay? You as a student, you will never do 100% of what they'll tell you, okay? You might do 30%, you might do 20%. Because of that factor happening, okay, you will be still applying those principles. If you're a good student, there is a very good chance, a very good shot that you have for you to get to 10,000, maybe 15,000 a month, okay? Just because people, it's not because you're not good enough at following instructions, it's because this is new territory for you. You guys making sense to me? Is this making sense? So I use this 10x factor. So if I want to get myself to, 10,000 a month, for example, I will find somebody who is at 100,000 a month and be the best student that person, that mentor has ever had, okay? And this is how you do it. Just a little side note here. Pablo, how important is it for you to believe in what you promoted as a person promoting products? Did you own, do you own the products that you promote? What's your take on that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you've got to own all the products, man. That's the only way you can speak from authority. So, yeah, first of all, you need to believe in what you're selling. Otherwise, it's not going to work, in my view. I know I've tried many times in the past trying to sell stuff that I don't really understand or own or believe in it, and I failed. I failed because, and I learned this from you, selling is a transference of feelings,
yeah.
And I could not sell something that I didn't believe or owned. So I've learned this from you from a very, very early stage, where you've got to own the products and study them, and then once you understand them, then you can go and sell. Dude, the way I approach things is like this. Okay, I'm selling whatever I'm selling, this product. Can I sell this to my own mom? Can I look my mom in the eye and sell her this? And if the answer is yes,
yeah.
then I'm good. Then I can go to sleep at night. So yeah, first of all is I need to believe in what I'm selling. I need to own it, because then I speak from a position of authority, because I own it. I can't have someone coming to me and say, Paulo, do you own all these products before I join your company, before I buy them? Do you own these products?
Right.
How could I look them in the eye and say, no, I don't, and then try to sell them a package that I don't even know? No, when I start something, I go all in. With me, Vic, I don't do things in half, because I know how it works. I know the law now, how it works. You got to go all in. You got to go and own all the products. And then you can look people in the eye and say, I own this product. I've studied it. It works. It can change your life. So when you speak from a position of authority, because you own the products, that's when everything really changes. It's another level, because then you attract people that want to come into your business that want to own all the products as well. And this is a very, very important principle that people need to get. If you want people to join you at whatever level you are, let's say you've joined a company and you bought all the products and you are entitled to earn all the commissions, the highest commission level you can. If you do that and you join that company at all in and you buy all the products, then guess what? What kind of people do you think you will attract into your company, into your team? The same level of people, right? All in. People who want to go all in, serious people who want to invest and work with you. And that's how I operate. And I learned that from a very early stage, that once you own all the products, the people that you will attract into your business will be the same kind of people. They will want to go all in. And when they ask you, are you all in? Do you own all the products and all that? Then you say yes. Then they'll say, oh, I'm going to do what the leader is doing. I'm going to do what you're doing and do exactly as you did. Yeah. And they go all in as well. And that was really my secret in the last company we both worked together when we were part of Big Idea Mastermind, because I was all in. Yeah. And who was I attracting? I was attracting all-ins. And a lot of people actually in that company was asking me, Paulo, how comes your rate of people going all in your team are so high? And I said, because I'm all in. I just expect people to go all in. I didn't know what else to answer. So I always said that, well, I'm all in. I expect other people who come into my business to look up at me and see what the leader is doing and do the same. So
Right.
I hope this is making sense, though.
It's the same, you know, it's the same concept of the dribble down effect. You know, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack, right? They say.
Yeah.
So how you, I mean, you literally set the tone for your, you know, for whatever you're doing. Like if you're building an organization, if you're building a company, if you're getting subscribers to your list, you know, I say this, you want to be the person, you want to be the marketer that you want your best customers to be. You want to embody that person, right? So, you know, if you want your customers to complain, hey, you go out there complaining. You know, if you want your customers to be like, you know, like, everything is a scam, I don't know about that, you be that type of person. You know, if you want your customers to be cool and happy, dude, you be that person, right? It's phenomenal how that stuff works. Interesting. Paulo, let's talk about this, man. So, talk to me about some of your biggest failures. What are some of the big lessons that you've learned over the 4 years or 10 years?
Dude, I had so many failures in my business. I don't even know where to start. Again, dude.
Give me your top 3. You know, from I know that none of this stuff you guys, you know, we're talking like we didn't even. He's got no clue what I'm going to ask him, and I honestly I don't even know where this conversation is going to go. We're just going. We're being totally raw. Unscripted, there's no questions prepared here. This is just two dudes talking and being totally real. I hope you can appreciate that. So I know, Paul, I'm totally putting you on a spot here, brother. But if you can give me like your top 3 biggest failures that I can learn from as a newbie, anything that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, there was a company that I'm not going to mention the name because we're not here to.
No, we don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to name companies or anything like that or people. But just like give me the gist of the lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, but before you and before obviously I learning marketing and having the right mindset and all that, yeah, I got involved with a company where I paid like $5,000 and I got involved with the wrong people, man. There was no system in place. There was really no steps. People were getting overwhelmed and I paid all this money and I had no system in place. I made absolutely no sales. I was pumping money into marketing. I'm talking about a hell of a lot of money. And I lost it all. I lost over like $12,000 in that company because I got involved with the wrong, I shouldn't say the wrong leader, but maybe the wrong group of people where there was no guidance. There was no step-by-step. I was the newbie, by the way. I didn't know what to do next. So I was really, every day I was waking up in the morning not knowing what to do next. And I was overwhelmed. And I would just buy a little bit of traffic here, do something there. I was just pumping money into the system. There was no system, by the way, into a company where I had no guidance. So biggest lesson that I've learned from that was obviously now I know how to create systems. Obviously I know what I'm doing right now, but never go into a company where there is no system and not a leader, obviously who is not, who doesn't have a past of positive results. So I obviously what I did very, very luckily, I met you and I knew your results. I've researched you. I knew you had the results. I knew you had the systems in place. So before you, I never had that. So I learned a big lesson from obviously not joining just a company without a leader, without someone with proven results. Okay, this is where the money is. This is where I'm going. And I didn't do that. I didn't do my research and there was no systems and there was no leader really with proven results. So I failed miserably. And with that was a lesson. Because I've invested over $12,000 in that company with 0 results. But I've learned, it was a good lesson, and I don't regret it. But as a newbie, I would have done things different now. I would look for a leader with results, with a system in place. I would look for, is there any other people making money in this team? I would look for other people similar to me. Are they having results? Are they making money? Then I would look at that and then obviously take it from there. I hope I'm making myself clear.
Yeah, totally. So is there anything? Okay, so that's one. Give me 2 more.
2 more.
Yeah.
Dude. Again, I would look for obviously.
What are some of your biggest screw ups in marketing?
My biggest screw ups in marketing, dude, not following a system, not having a clear plan what to do every single day, not doing any income producing activities.
So like just like kind of like screwing around, like just like being lazy or what?
Yeah, just being lazy, not doing what I'm meant to be doing every single day, like generating leads, just getting carried away on Facebook, maybe just browsing on Facebook and forums and complaining about things, because I used to do a lot of that. I don't do that anymore, by the way.
You mean that that's not producing income for you?
No, not at all, man. I just stay away from all that. But that's exactly what I used to do, man, and watch TV. And yeah, my biggest screw-ups was when I was trying to make it online. I used to watch a lot of TV. I used to waste my time in front of TV. I no longer do that, obviously, because as you know, I learned that from you. I just stay away from TV and from things that don't take me closer to my goal. Everything that I look at is, okay, I'm going to spend my time watching this or doing that on the other. I always ask the question, is this going to improve my life, or is this going to take me closer to my goal today, or is this going to take me away from my goal today? And that's how I approach everything.
Yeah.
And I never thought that way, man. I was just used to be clueless, wake up in the morning and be completely clueless. I don't know what I'm doing today. And I hated that. And I was never productive at anything because I had no plan. So again, going back to what I said early in the beginning of this call, was to have a clear path, a clear agenda of what you're doing the next day is very, very important. So I always make sure that the night before I'm working out a plan of what I'm doing the next day, because I hate waking up in the morning not knowing what am I doing today. Am I just going to laze around, or do I have something that I want to try to achieve today? So I always have a process in place of what I'm doing that day, or the next day, sorry. So I don't want to be counterproductive. I want to obviously achieve what I have to achieve for that day, and then move on. So being lazy in front of TV and not working on my business maybe, or learning from a video maybe about self-development or marketing, that's probably another biggest mistake that I've done in my unsuccessful years, so to speak.
Yeah. So you gave me two. Okay, so is there a third one? Because watching TV, being lazy, that's kind of like in the same category.
I know.
So tell me this: did you ever have a campaign that bombed? That didn't?
Many times, dude.
Okay, so tell me your biggest, and why do you think that happened?
Again, it was because I was getting involved with the wrong people who didn't have the results, and they call themselves marketers. And they told me, if you buy my course, if you send this traffic, it's got to work. Actually, I remember buying a lot of traffic from some shady, brokers that actually took my money, and the traffic was just bots, for example. So I had obviously really bad results with some of my campaigns because I was learning from the wrong people. I was getting involved with the wrong leaders because I didn't do my research. So yeah, absolutely. I think that has happened to the best of us, where we've invested a lot of money in traffic or campaigns that bombed. Yeah, and yeah, of course, absolutely. But I learned a lot from my mistakes.
What do you look for? What do you look for when you refer to like generating quality traffic or quality leads? What do you mean by that?
I mean by, first of all, I run small tests. First of all, I obviously do a lot of media buys, and a lot of people that I buy traffic from, it's people that I actually know. Right. This is people that I went to meet, I went to events, I broke bread with them, I created relationships. So this is not just something that I find someone online and I just buy traffic. I don't do that. I actually go to events, a lot of traffic events, because that's my craft. That's what I will be an expert at. My expertise is media buys. It's is to buy traffic that generates quality leads, targeted leads. So I go to events, I meet these people. Some of them are people that I call friends. So I always run small tests. I test the traffic, I test the conversions, and then I check the open rates. Okay, I've got these leads now that I've generated from this campaign, and then I test them and I send emails and I check for open rates, I check for click-through rates. Are these people actually real people? Are they opening my emails? And more importantly, are they interested in the products and services that I've got to sell? And I check that to click-through rates. Are they buying my stuff? So it's just an ongoing learning process. I'm always testing different traffic sources, but I always start small. This is very, very important, that I never go big on a new traffic source. I always go small. I test it. Once I get the leads in, I test, are they real leads? Are they people actually, real people first? And then are they people interested in what I've got to say? Are they opening my emails? Are they clicking on my links? And then most importantly, are they buying my products and services. So,
speaking of traffic, somebody's asking like, what is media buying? Well, media buying is where you actually play, where you get, where you can buy media, you can buy like email media traffic, right? So for example, you can tap into other people's lists. There's buyers lists. There's companies that generate and sell. For example, there is like SRDS, for example, right? Is a huge compilation of different lists that people purchase from, you know, infomercials. They purchase different products, different price points, so we can tap into that and we can buy what's called media, right? We can buy like a list of email addresses that we can email to later, okay? Yeah. There is like banner media buying. We can buy display medias, right? So here's something I'm going to tell you. Paul, I didn't even tell you this at the time. It was obviously, you know, when we're doing this live, a lot of people are like, okay, traffic. Not every traffic, you guys, is created equal, and you don't need 101 traffic sources. You really don't. You really need like a handful of traffic sources that actually work, because only a handful, maybe 2% of all the traffic sources that you see around, or traffic teachings, or traffic ideas, or traffic generation avenues, only about 2%, 2 to 4% of them that produce nearly 100% of the results. Everything else is kind of a waste of time. So, Paulo, what do you think about this idea, man? What if we added the 4% traffic division into the 4% group? What do you think about that? This is something we're actually working on, as a matter of fact. So if you guys are watching this here in the 4%, traffic will never ever be your problem, ever. Because we don't like the model here. You guys. I'm going to talk to you. You have 4% group members actually watching us live, and there's, you know, a few hundred, almost 400 people right now live watching this, and there's probably going to be tens of thousands watching this replay in the community. Two things that we really wanted to focus on here, right, with the 4%. You guys are members. You know what they are, right? Results and simplicity. So what are the things that produce results? Well, it's having a product that's solid, legitimate product that you can get behind, that you can promote with certainty, with confidence. Like Paulo said, it must pass the mama test, right? If you can't sell it to if your mama doesn't approve what you're selling, dude, don't do it, right? Because mama knows, mama got your back, you know? And second thing is simplicity. It's got to be simple, because if it's not simple, you're just not gonna get the result. Yes, as simple as that, you know. And Paulo, you're a testament to that, because you said your first 6 years you failed because there was no structure, there was no, everything was complicated and complex, and you got lost. So in 4%, we focus on results and simplicity. Now, product is number one. Number two, what is it? It's systems. Well, dude, we got the best systems ever, which we'll you know, I want to circle. Paul, I actually want to get your opinion on something here in a moment. Number three, what do you need? You need to feed that system with the right kind of traffic. And so what we're doing is forming what we call the 4% traffic division, to where you never, ever have to worry about traffic. You've got all the components: simplicity, products, portfolio, right? Not just one. Portfolio, world-class companies, world-class products, systems that sell them better than anything else in the world, in existence, that converting them into sales for you, right? And then fuel it with the right kind of traffic that focuses on producing, generating results. That's it. You become unstoppable. Paulo, you're a member of the 4% group. I have one more question that's in the back of my mind here that I'm going to circle back to, but let's take, everybody loves it, huh? You guys love it. The 4% traffic division, you guys members of the 4% group, will be rolling that out, okay? If you're watching this, you're not a member of the 4% group, dude, you do whatever you think is best for you. But I really think you should check this out, because this is like really cool stuff. So Paulo, speaking of the 4% group, you're a member of the 4% group.
Right.
Why are you here, man? You got all these opportunities. You got like all these different things that you can be doing out there on the internet. So much possibility and opportunity. The guy in your shoes, you can be like anywhere, doing anything. Yet one of the things that you're a part of and support is a 4%. Why?
Oh, dude, you kidding me? Because when it comes to authority, and when it comes to traffic, and when it comes to marketing, and just being an all-around good, best marketer around, I think you are the one. You're my mentor, and I know, let's put it this way. Can I be completely honest? I know where the money is, okay? And when it comes to creating systems and helping the newbie on how to make money online. I don't know anyone better than you to do so. And I sincerely mean this. And I've done this many times with you in the past, where you're the first person that I came across that actually helped me to make money. So what a better place to come than the 4% group with someone who is, obviously I've done my research. I know you're genuine. I know you really want to help people. I know it's not all about the money, and you genuinely want to help people. And plus, you've got the knowledge, the know-how on how to help people. You can teach that. A lot of people that I come across, they're very good marketers. They know how to make money, but they cannot teach. They cannot put systems in place. This is very important that people understand this. There's a lot of people out there, they cannot put systems in place. They cannot help the newbie. But Vic, I can sincerely say he can, because he helped me. I was once a newbie. I was once the guy who was just sitting on webinars thinking, how does this all work? Can I really make it here? And I can sincerely say, yes, you can, because I did that. And many others here tonight can vouch for that they've made it online because of Vic. So what a better place to be than the 4% group. As you know, obviously I've been in this industry for 4 years. I have got a lot of contacts now. I travel a lot. I don't know any other system like the 4% group. And you know that I do a lot of my own research. I've got a lot of contacts as well now in this business, but dude, there's nothing better out there. The 4% group is the place to be. Okay, it's a no-brainer. I mean,
I never asked you this. I never appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Paulo. And I personal just curiosity. I never actually asked you about this. I don't even know if you actually went through it or not, or started it, or actually took a look at it. What are your thoughts about Operation 100K?
Dude, it's awesome. I'm smiling because we've done all this before. I mean, you basically showing people step by step, guys. You got to listen to this. You will learn step by step, Vic basically showing you over his shoulder what he would do if he was in your shoes, if he was a newbie. And Vic is not tricking anybody. He's not saying, I'm going to do A and then I'm going to do B. He's actually showing you step by step exactly how he would do, how he would operate his business without even using his own name or his list. Because obviously everyone knows Vic. We all know that Vic's got a big list. But he's really showing you the steps that he would take if he was a newbie. If I was you, and by the way, I'm going to those series as well. I'm no big-headed thing. I don't need to watch that. I'm actually going through the same process exactly as everybody else. I'm putting my newbie hat on. I'm watching Vic, exactly how the process, the steps that he takes, the way that he thinks, the way that he strategizes. I mean, this is pure value. I mean, I hear people complaining about $49 a month and this is that and that's not finished. Guys, are you kidding me? We are paying $49 to watch a master marketer, in my opinion, the best in the world. I mean this, the best guy in the world, thinking out loud. This is what I would do. This is how I would strategize. This is my next step. This is pure value. I'm there watching it with a pen and paper, making notes. I know some of you might not believe that, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking notes and just watching and learning how Vic takes the next step and how he strategizes. Most importantly, how he thinks. It's pure value, man. So I appreciate you for putting the 4% group together, and I can say that I'm a very happy member and very glad to be in this community. So I appreciate you, man. Thanks for creating that.
It's one thing. The one thing, man. The one thing that I honestly, genuinely feel like what is happening here is like there's something in the air. There's something is like something about what we do here. It's not about Vic, and I'm glad and honored to be able to serve and plant those seeds, you know. But it's people like you, Paulo. You know, it's people like, you know, members of the 4% group that are taking these ideas, internalizing them, and look at you now. Now you're on stages, man. Now you're dominating leaderboards. Now you're making things happen, and now you're one of the skyscrapers of the industry, dude. That's why the 4% group exists, is to do that kind of stuff. So appreciate you, man. Congratulations on your success, Paulo. If somebody is new, right, maybe they're watching this, you know, maybe with their arms crossed a little bit, maybe they're a little skeptical about themselves, maybe they've been burned before, you know, they came across this and they're like, okay, what is this 4% group all about? I mean, can I really make it here? Is this another, you know, program or another company? look, I'm kind of biased. You as a member, you can be doing anything. What would you tell to that person in like, 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds?
I'm very happy you've asked me that question because I can vouch that the 4% group is really the place to be, period. This is the guy that I've learned my craft. This is the guy that made me what I am today. He really is. Obviously, a lot of work was involved in that process. But I would just draw a line in the sand and just stop doing whatever you're doing. I would turn off the emails even, if that is disturbing you. And I don't want people to have the shiny object syndrome like I did, which was I was jumping from one program to another. I would just focus and put my horse blinkers or blinders on and just concentrate on the 4% group. Because I sincerely say that this system, this process, these steps that Vic's put together can absolutely change your life. How do I know that? Because it's changed mine. I'm speaking from experience here, not from theory. Oh, I heard. No, I know so. So I would just draw a line in the sand and make this system my last. I am serious, guys. I would make this system my last, and then what? And then just do the following. Every day when you wake up, you can only think of one thing, the 4% group. It's your new home, your new community, and you got to go all in. Don't do things in halves. Don't just test it and dwell. Oh, I'm going to test it a little bit. I'm going to try. No, go 100%. Go hard, and really believe that this is going to be your home. And I promise you something. If you do that, and if you focus 100%, not 50%, guys, don't give me even 70%. That's not going to work. You got to go hard. You got to go 100% and really believe that this is going to be your last system. And if you do that, and if you follow Vic's videos to the T, and you make notes, and you apply, and you take massive action, I can sincerely say that, yes, it can work for you. And trust me, a lot of the people here in this community that are doing well, we're nothing special. Really, there's nothing special. I can vouch for myself. There's nothing special about me. But can I sincerely say that this works and that Vic can change your life? 100%. That's why I'm here, guys. Vic's not paying me to be here. Did you guys know that? I'm here. It's now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's 5:14 in the morning, guys.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Because I believe in this. Otherwise, I would have made my excuse and tell Vic, no, man, I won't be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You crazy? I've got a lifestyle to keep and all that. I'm here because I sincerely believe that this system can help you and it can change your life. And guess what? This is one of my whys now. I haven't actually talked about that yet, but my biggest why now is to help people like you.
Awesome.
And I know that sounds like cliche or whatever, I don't care.
Well, dude, that's actually, a lot of people talk about it, but unless you, there's going to be a time, you guys watching this, look, if you're serious about making this your career, mark my words. Initially, you're going to do it for selfish reasons, and there is nothing wrong with it, man. You got to take care of your family, dude. You can't help anybody unless you help yourself first. Paulo, you agree?
Oh man, 100%. And I was very selfish in the beginning. Yeah.
I think you have to be selfish in the beginning, dude, because you can't help other people if you're not helping yourself first. How can I teach you how to, because this was your problem in the beginning. You were like, somebody else tried to help you by selling you all this crap and garbage, but themselves, they were broke. They were not on some solid financial grounds themselves. So it's never going to work. You've got to be selfish in the beginning. Get yourself on the financial ground, solid, right? Get yourself in an unshakable foundation to where you're like, dude, I'm good, man. I've got money in the bank. I don't have to worry about, bills or cars. I want that car. I want that, Mercedes that came out, or I want that little, Honda or Chevy or whatever your dream car is, dude. I don't know if somebody's, dream car is a Chevrolet, but dude, maybe it's a Ferrari. Maybe it's that Tesla that came out. Maybe it's a BMW. Maybe, what is it that you want? Get that. Put blinders on. Be laser focused, do what's working, get yourself in a position to where you're like, dude, I know I made it for myself. Now you're in a position to make the difference for somebody else. You will go through phases, right? So your phase number one is get yourself on some solid grounds. Put some money in the bank, get the results, get it stable. Make sure that you get to the point where you understand how you did it so you can replicate your success. And look, that's what we're here for. The 4% group, you guys are watching this, a part of the 4% group. Dude, there is no better system in existence than what we put together. We can go head to head with anybody in existence. Okay, I can say it with confidence because I know what it took. It took 12 years to put this together. It took me 12 years to put together what you guys have your hands on here. And it's brilliant, okay? You guys can attest to that, obviously. So, number one. Number two, you'll get to the phase to where you're like, okay, dude, money's coming in, I'm good. I'm gonna start sharing with people. I'm gonna start, making my own difference, okay? And that you do that. Now, you can be promoting other people's programs. You don't even have to own the program at this stage. But then there's gonna come a stage, there's gonna come a time to where you can be where I am at, if that's what you want. And this is totally optional. Okay, this is where you, instead of like, okay, transferring people or taking people from one place to another, or taking your situation, your results from one to another levels, you're in a transcendence mode, man. You're like, this is where you take your vision, your ability, your capability, your magical powers, if you will, right? And you're able to systematize this whole concept, and you're able to go just like you multiply yourself. And I'm privileged and blessed and super honored. Every morning I wake up and I'm like with a sense of passion and purpose, because I get to do something that very, very few people in the world are able to do, which is to inspire people to rise above average. Dude, enough being average, enough being mediocre, enough just getting by. And I've been blessed and fortunate enough to be able to be, and over the last 12 years, get to the place to where I can sit here in this chair talking to you right now, my friend, and inspire you to rise above mediocre, to rise above average, okay? And that's what the level to where I'm at. And there's another level, and another level is, hey, how many Paulos can I help, establish? And so our vision here in the 4%, you guys, and Paulo, you heard me talk about this metaphor. What's a metaphoric representation of the 4% group, right? You guys are members here. I'm going to talk to you here for a sec. What's a metaphoric representation of the 4%? Okay, well, if you can imagine this, okay, if individual's business might be represented as like a house, okay, pretty easy to picture, right? There are some people some people that are homeless. They're living under the bridge. They're really, really struggling, right? Really struggling. You don't want to be that guy. It's really difficult. You got no money, you got no home, you're under the bridge, you got no, you're like, oh my goodness, the winter is coming, I'm gonna freeze to death, right? You gotta beg somebody else to let you into their home, whatever, feed you. There are some people like that, okay? Is your business in that situation? Maybe your business is somebody who lives in a mobile home. I mean, for some people it's like, dude, I got no problem living in a mobile home, that's okay. Is that what you really want? A mobile home might represent somebody's income online, maybe you're generating $50 a month, $100 a month. In fact, 94% of people, 94%, if you can believe this, statistical numbers, we have the data to prove it. 94% of people in our industry earn less than $100 a month doing this. Not 4% group, obviously, but in this online marketing space. 94% of these people, metaphorically speaking, they're living in mobile homes, okay? Not the best place, not the best, this is not what you want to give to your family. That's not what they deserve, trust me, okay? Now, you might be living in somebody, you might be somebody who's like, okay, I'm going to be like, your income is like $1,000 to $3,000 a month. You're like, okay, this is your single family home, man, okay? But here's the thing. What we want to do here with the 4%, the metaphoric representation, we're going to build, and we're on a mission here to build the industries, the city's most incredible, most awe-inspiring skyline that this industry has ever seen. We're building skyscrapers, you guys. What does it take to build a skyscraper? It takes dedication. It takes commitment. Like a diamond, it takes pressures, okay? It takes you doing things you might not be comfortable with, but here's the best part. It's worth it, okay? It's worth becoming a skyscraper, because somebody like Paulo Barroso, for him to be able to get the kind of income he's getting now, he had to become the person worthy of generating that $2 million or that $100,000 a month. You never, ever, ever get the money that you're not worthy of, not legally, okay? And if you're gonna do it illegally, it's not gonna last. You know what I'm saying? Paulo, does that make sense to you, brother?
Oh man, 100%. I can vouch for that 100%. I had to change. Again, it's all about changing, and I had to become the person that I wanted to be by obviously, again, changing my mindset and reading, and that's what you have to do. I had to give up my habits. A lot of the bad habits I had to change, man. I could not be the person that I was if I wanted to be a millionaire if I were to earn $100,000 a month. I could not be that person by doing the things that I was doing, like watching TV and wasting my time and being with broke people. So I had to change. Yeah.
So check this out now, right? So check this out. So what's the transcendence, phase right now, right? What does that mean? Look, Paulo Barroso, perfect representation, right? What we want to do is we want to have more of the Paulo Barrosos. We want to have more of the Saj P's. We want to have more of the Justin Varengias. We want to have more of the Miles Segerses, right? We want to have more of you with a big dream. But let's shape you into that skyscraper, because a skyscraper, if it's a residential skyscraper, metaphorically speaking, I love metaphors for whatever reason, man, right? It can house how many hundreds of people, how many hundreds of families? A few hundred, a lot, right? In your business, if you're a skyscraper in your business, dude, you are making a gigantic difference in people's lives, man. You can impact, you can house a lot of people, you can serve a lot of people, right? Is that what you want? I know, Paulo, that's what you want, but is that what you want, my friend? You're watching this, okay? So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go, Paulo, we're gonna wrap this up here, brother. I appreciate your time. I know it's like almost 6 o'clock in the morning, your time. Really appreciate it. My friends, you guys watching here in the 4% group, let's do this, man. Let's do this. We've got cool stuff coming out. We're gonna talk more on the members only webinars. Obviously, this is a journey show. This is Paulo Barroso sharing his journey here with us. My friend, you're watching this right now, and if you are not part of the vision, if you're not part of the big dream, which is build those skyscrapers, if you want to be part of our skyline, check out what we do. I promise you, it's gonna be the best decision you will ever make in your business career, probably in your life. Okay, appreciate you. Hope you got a lot of value from it. Today's interview, Mr. Paulo Barroso, appreciate you coming on here, brother. Any final closing comments you want to tell to anybody watching this right now?
I always just say, take massive action. Go where the money is. Go. Just look at all the leaders, for example, here in the 4% group. What are they doing? Are they all in? Just model them, man. That's what I did. I remember when I wanted to be a leader. I remember when I wanted to, earn, the big bucks. What are the leaders doing? And I would just study them and do exactly what they did. So if the leaders here are all in, guess what you have to do? Do I have to say more? Yeah. I'm not selling it for Vic, by the way. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you how I became one. I followed the leaders. So if Vic is all in, guess what Paulo is going to do? No excuses. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, that's the bullshit excuses. Excuse my French. It's just your excuse. It's your bullshit excuse. I take no excuses, man, because I didn't have the money. But I went to find it. I asked, how can I get the money? So if money is your excuse, then find a way to get the money. Ask. Because, again, the power between your ears, man, you would be surprised of the solutions that your brain can come up with. So take massive action, follow, look up to what the leaders are doing, and then just do the same. Go all in. Just take massive action. Follow what Vic is teaching you. Be patient, because this is a real business, by the way. Forget the lottery mentality that you're going to make $1 million in 7 days. That's never going to happen. So give it time, have a proper goal in place, and then go hard and believe you can do this. Because if people like me can do this, and guys, I'm really nothing special. I'm an immigrant, for crying out loud. My English is not even perfect. So take no excuses, guys. Go hard, take massive action, and you will see your life change within the next 90 days for sure. So thanks very much for watching this, and I appreciate for listening to me as well. So thanks for being here.
Paulo, let's go to the next level, man. Appreciate you, brother. Keep it up. Congratulations on your success. You guys, look, hope you got a nugget or two. Hope you got some ideas from this interview. Again, here's what I'm going to tell you. Hang on to that dream, man. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. Don't let anybody take it away. It's you. It's in your control. You are the one responsible for reaching that dream, for grabbing it, making it a reality, and we're here to serve you. Appreciate you. Have a blessed day. Be awesome. I'll talk to you next time. Cut. Mr. Paulo, hey, we're still on, man. We're still on. That was a closing piece for the funnels outside of the 4% group, obviously, cool. That we can share with the marketplace.
Nice.
Dude, what is there anything else that you want to share with our people here? If you don't mind, staying on for another 3 minutes max.
Not at all.
Anything else that you might share with our community here, obviously insiders here, this is, you know, internal members only now conversation, that you think would be a benefit to the membership?
Dude, you've already answered my biggest concern, which was you've created now a place where people can dive into the traffic and get quality leads. You know, to me, it's all about the traffic now. It's all about getting quality leads into the 4% group. I think that's the number one question people ask right now. Obviously, I would advise people to still create their own well, you know, learn about traffic, absolutely.
Totally.
But now you've just solved that biggest problem, which I wasn't even aware of. You just broke the news. You just dropped the big bomb, which is people got to tap into your, you know, the 4% group traffic, which obviously is going to be a tremendous help for people. But I would still advise people to be skillful at marketing and learning traffic. And that's really what people need to do. Once they have the traffic, all they have to do is just send it to the system. It will convert. They will make sales. And then it's a matter of also taking it to the next level, learning how to create their own funnels as well. I would advise people to do that, create their own funnels, because then they will be positioning themselves above the competition. They will be different from everyone else. They'll be branding themselves as well. So I would totally advise people to do that. And just a craft, this is a craft that you gotta every day wake up and try to learn something more and become better. So for now, I would totally advise you to use, obviously, the traffic in the 4% group, send it to the system, because that's what I did in the beginning. And can I say that it works? It will work, because it worked for me. And then, obviously, every day learn new traffic strategy, or become good at the traffic strategy that you choose, because you don't have to learn 3, 4, 5 traffic strategies. I'm concentrating right now, Vic, on PPC, Facebook PPC. That's what I'm doing right now. And I don't want to deviate from that. So that's what I want to become good at. So I advise everyone just to become good at one thing for now. Just become good at whatever. If it's video, then become good at ranking videos. If it's Facebook, then become good at doing Facebook ads. You know, if it's banner advertising, become good at placing banners. But one thing at a time. Just one thing, and become an expert at that. Not a jack of all trades, but become a master at something. So become good at one thing, run with it. You'll be fine. Just take a lot of action. Make sure you're driving traffic every single day to your system, to your landing page. Make sure you're getting those leads coming in every single day. Test those leads, please. A lot of people don't do this. Make sure the leads that you are getting are responsive, are opening your emails, are interacting with you. If you need help with emails, Vic helps everyone out with that, with a sequence of emails that you can then even craft your own, you know, put your own style, put your own twist into it. So it's just a matter of just, you know, do your best to generate traffic every single day to your system, and you'll be fine. The people that come to me and they say, Paul, I'm not having any success, I'm not having any sales, the number one question that I always ask is, how many leads have you generated today? And a lot of them, or most of them, they come back with the answer, which is 0, nothing. So that goes, how can you make sales if you don't generate traffic? How can you make sales if you don't have leads coming in on a daily basis into your system? Guys, I know this sounds oversimplistic, but really is. Let's keep it simple. It's all a matter of generating traffic and having quality leads. It's very important. Quality leads coming into your funnel. If you guys do that, I can promise you, and I don't guarantee anything, obviously. I'm not here to guarantee anything, because there's no guarantees in life, but I can promise you will have results if you put in the numbers. It's a numbers game. You guys hear that? A lot of people saying it's a numbers game. It really is. We can apply maths into this. When the funnel's open, we'll come to, we can reverse engineer everything. We will actually be able to tell you how much percent this funnel converts as, or this sales page and whatever. Then all you need to do is generate traffic to it. If it converts at 2, 3, 4, or 5%, you can reverse engineer everything, how much traffic you need to send it in order to earn X. Let's say you want to earn $5,000 a month. We can actually mathemize, if there's such a word. We can do maths and work out how much traffic you need to send to it. And Vic can explain this to you in much better words than me, but you can really reverse engineer to a point where you will know every single day I need to send X amount of traffic to these sales page, and this will convert at whatever, and I will make X amount of money.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. Yeah.
Love it, man. Love it. You guys, look, Operation 100K, funnels, big launch tomorrow for the funnels. Remember one thing, my friends. Nothing is impossible. Let's go get it. Pavel, appreciate you, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. See ya.
Thank you. See you. Bye.